Hi. So in this video tutorial, I'm gonna make a very large flower from petal number 5. So here, I already pre-cut my petals to make, hopefully to make this tutorial easier. I have, because I have here a 5-layer petals. So I used A, B, C, D, and E. The only thing that I didn't use is the smallest one, the F. And I have 6 petals in each layer. Also here, this is an extraordinary base. Since I have 5 layers of petals, I need to use a 6 inches base instead of the regular 5 inches for my large flowers. And also, I have 5 different sizes of this Dandelion Center. Actually, it's all laid out in 8.5 by 11, all 5 of them. So basically, when I'm making the center, I only use half of the sheet because I only use 3 pieces. But now I'm using 5, so I really use the entire sheets. Excuse me. So also, we need to have our hot glue and our glue gun. We have to have our scissors and different sizes of curling materials. In my case here, I have different sizes of dowel rods, and also I included pencil to make it like 5 different sizes to correspond to 5 different sizes of my petals. So let's start. So first off, I'm gonna do 3 sheets at a time, folding it at the middle. The way how I do mine is trying to, meet all the edges on the sides, and then just press it in half, like so. So we're trying to create a texture here. So this is my first layer. Again, I'm folding it 3 sheets at a time. So our first layer is done. Doing our second layer. Three sheets at a time again. So this one. Finish with our second layer. Set it aside. Let's proceed to our third. Two. Now to our fourth layer. So again, every layer we have 6 petals on it. So 2. To our fifth and final layer here. So we have folded our petals into half. So this way we are creating a texture into our petals. So the next thing that we're going to do is to create a slit. So if you are following with my video, you know that I love to cut 6 sheets at a time. And my basic principle on cutting the slit, the largest the petal, the deeper the slit. So, like so. And another reason why I cut the slit all together, all at once, not just to make it quicker, but also to have a uniform depth on your petal. So 2. Our slit and flapping it together later will 2, 4, 6. I had extra. Creating the slit will give a dimension into our petal. So again, we are doing it 6 at a time. And one last layer. So now that we already created our slit, it's time for us to curl the sides. So as you can see here, I have 5 different sizes of dowel rod, and it corresponds to the 5 different sizes of my petals. So for the largest petals, I'm gonna use the largest dowel rod that I have here. So again, in curling, my principle is 3 sheets at a time. Like so. So again, I'm making a large flower, so I'm using the A, B, C, D, and E. And if you intend to make a medium, I would recommend to use the C, D, E. And if you want to make a small flower out of this template, you can use the E and the F. So done with our largest petal here. The next thing we're going to do is to get the second largest dowel rod for the second largest petal. Again, we're still curling the sides outward. Done with our second layer, onto our third layer with the third largest dowel rod. So in this flower, let's see later what's gonna be the final measurement of the flower. But basically, for a large one, it would be an 18 to 21 inches flower. So into our fourth layer, using this pencil. For this large flower again, I'm using 18 sheets of cardstock just for the petal, and one whole entire sheet just for the center. So not bad at all, considering that it's gonna be massive, it's large, it will add texture to your arrangement, it's bold, and it would cover a big space just in case you are planning on making a paper flower wall. So down to our last and final layer, I'm using the smallest dowel rod that I have. So now that we're done, it's time for us to glue the flaps together. So this will take a little bit longer. I haven't figured it out yet how to fast this forward on when uploading. So you can go ahead and choose the speed of this portion here. It will take some time. So just gluing the flap together, making sure that it's gonna be uniform. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So done with our first layer, onto our second layer. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Second layer is finished. To our third layer. So basically, when you are making a small flower, this 3 would be the one that you're going to use. C, D, and E. So again, you can speed up this process a little bit by, you know, going to the settings in your YouTube and just select like speed it up a little bit until I finish gluing the flaps. So third layer, here comes our fourth layer. I'm trying as fast as I can so that this video won't take so long, but also I want it in a way that, you know, I can clearly deliver my message and my method, especially to the newcomers. Three, four, five, and six. So maybe next time I will just have to, you know, glue all this one together and then just show you how, you know, how I arrange this one on my base, because technically there is most of my video tutorials is almost the same process, unless it's a special template. Like roses or dual tones or flowers with 7 to 8 petals on it instead of 6. But most of my paper flower templates design, you know, it only has like, you will only need 6 petals. There are few that only uses 5, and there are some that uses 8 and 10. So hallelujah, we glue our flaps together, all 5 layers. So let's set aside these 4 layers first, and let's focus on our first layer. So just in case you guys want to hang up your flower, I would recommend to have a pipe cleaner. I use white pipe cleaner and I cut it in 4 pieces. So this one is 1/4 of a strip, and I just curl it, imitate like a hook, have some glue, and stick it to your base. So the fuzz would really help hold the glue in place. So now I'm going to glue our petals one at a time. So if you have been following me, you know that the first 2 layers are very crucial, or the first 2 pieces I only glue, like put glue on half of the base and place it in our base parallel to the hook. So the second piece, we're going to place it at the exact opposite of this petal, like so. So now here's the way I do mine. I keep this one open because I'm sneaking it in between like this, and also this way. So I'm trying to evenly distribute the petals, making sure that, you know, it's evenly and it has proportion on the way it lays on the base. And then I hold it enough that it would stick in place and squeeze some good amount of glue underneath. So basically I'm gluing this part here first, and this one is still open. So holding the other side with my finger, flipping it, and then squeezing some glue, making it sure that it's in place where I intend it to be. So now that it's finished, we can now secure this open side here. Excuse me. So down to our final 2 pieces of petals in this layer. So this is the crucial part. When we go to the second and up to the last layer, we don't have to, because now we have a guide on where we're going to put our petals. But the first layer is the most crucial, as I said. It is like the base of our flower, the petal setting on our base. And now we can close this side here. So our first layer is finished. We can go ahead and continue placing our second layer. So we're gonna place it in a staggered way, meaning we have to place this petal in between the 2 previous ones. So again, the first 2 pieces has an open side, like so, and the second one we're going to place it at the exact opposite. Like that. And our third, we'll also keep it open, because we're not gonna do the same way as what we did on the first layer. We just make it sure that it's in between the 2, and yet we have to sneak 1 petal here too, so we keep it open. So now we can close this one, since we don't have to have any other petal that we would sneak in here. So after that, you can close all these loose ends just to secure your petal on your base. So I just wanted to remind you that, you know, especially when you intend to use a flat center like this, I would recommend to really make an effort to move inward, so that you will only have a very small hole, you know, at the end of your 5 layers, so you won't see the base of your flower. Now we can close these ends. 1, 2. So second layer is finished. Now we're into our third layer. So again, we are arranging it, you know, in a staggered way in between the 2 previous petals. final petal. No, not the final petal, the fourth petal on this layer. We still have two more. So that's the fourth. Oh, that's the fifth, and now this is the sixth. So as you can see, our flower is starting to get full, and the texture, the fold in the middle of the petals really gives it a very nice texture. It's so bold. Like, this itself is a good statement piece. You know, you can put this at the middle of your arrangement. So we're now down to our fourth layer. By the way, when you intend to use a flappy center, you can stop at the fourth layer. This would really be a good enough time to put a flappy center. I will show you an example of how a flappy center would look like when we put it there. But as I said, we're not going to use a flappy center in this flower. We're going to use a flat Dandelion Center. So, 1 second, let me get my flat center and show you. This is the flappy center I made. You can actually make this one without a cutting machine. So, see? It's very, very nice. You can stop it from there if you have this flappy center. But since we're using the flat ones, we're going to add up our other layer. But as I said, when you make this one as a statement piece of your arrangement, go ahead and do a flappy center. So to our final piece here, or final layer, I mean, we are trying to cover as much white surface here so that it won't show off into our you know, when we put our flat center. Our flat center is not as it doesn't cover as widely as the flappy center. So final petal here. So now we can start putting our flappy center, our flat center. So let's start with the largest. We don't have to do anything with it. Just try to cover as much white surface as you can, And to the second one, let's try to fold this upward so that, you know, it would create a layer to our flat center. It doesn't mean that it's flat center, it also has to be flat and boring. You know, we're going to create a dimension and layer it. So 2, and then here's our third. And then the fourth. So what I like about the center is that it's easy to cut. It's not as complicated as the flappy centers that, you know, we traditionally know. This one is very easy. At the same time, as long as you know how to layer it, it would really create a very nice dimension. It might not be as full as the flappy center, like this, but it's good enough, you know, for a center. So that's all for you guys. Let's check how big this flower is. So end to end, actually it's 25 inches. 25 inches flower using 18 sheets of cardstock. So not bad at all, right? So thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you learned something on this tutorial. Until next time, bye.